When your brand is riding a wave that just keeps growing, you need more than just the right platform, you need the right partner. Gander Clothing was scaling rapidly, but their e-commerce tech just couldn't keep up. That's when they partnered with Convert Digital. Since launching a headless Shopify Plus site in 2021, they've seen incredible results. A 300% increase in daily orders, 16% revenue growth, and a 12% conversion boost. With faster load times, a seamless checkout experience, and powerful omni-channel integration, Gander has transformed into one of Australia's biggest retail success stories. And it's all powered by Convert Digital's commerce expertise. It's commerce that stacks up. Read the full case study at convertdigital.com.au.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about product quizzes recently, and I know it's a bit of a weird thing to say, weird thing to think about, but it's coming up a lot. I recently had a conversation with a client around, do they actually go down the path of creating a product quiz for their new customers, or do they just skip the whole product quiz and go straight to an AI chatbot or an AI finder where a customer can ask anything they want and that the machine is smart enough to spit them out the perfect answer? And I actually think now they're totally different scenarios. It's not that do you skip the quiz to go to the chatbot? I think they're two totally different experiences. While a chatbot is great, and I think it's limitless, and it can bring some really great information to the forefront that we might not ever program into a quiz, it also has a fundamental flaw in that we're asking customers to know the question that they want to ask. And that's the inherent beauty, I think, of a product quiz, is that we set the question that we think is most important to them, and all they need to do is click a few buttons to actually get a really strong recommendation. So I don't think the product quiz is dead yet. I think there's a lot more life in this. And this came to life in my conversation with Jennifer Gilbert from Organics. We dove deep into product quizzes, and I want to play this clip from our conversation because she sheds light onto what a good product quiz looks like, but also how it set the tone for the relationship that they have with that customer after they do that first quiz.
From an acquisition standpoint then, as you're looking to find new customers, are there certain triggers or behaviors that you're looking for that you know are kind of those launching points into that they're now ready to explore what you've got available at Organics?
Yeah, I think it comes from we solve a problem. We're going to meet you where you have that problem. We're not fads. We're not into diet culture or anything like that. But if you have recognized that, hey, my gut health is just not doing well, you're going to need something for that. And that's where we meet you. So if you come onto our site, we've got an amazing product finder quiz that kind of helps you narrow down based off on your benefits and your lifestyle needs or allergies or anything like that. It helps you then narrow down what's going to be best for you. Because we don't just want to sell a product to anybody. We want you to have the right product that's going to help you, not just be a product that gets stored in your pantry and you never use.
How did you build that quiz? Because I could imagine that would have been a lot of debate going into that quiz in what are the triggers, what are the filters, what are the outcomes that you want to deliver, especially for new customers, because this could be the first piece of information that they get about you and your products and how it relates to their lifestyle. What was the process to create something that you're all really proud of?
It's huge. Do you know what? Like most things, especially for people who are just getting into any new industry, you're like, this seems simple enough. We'll do it like A, B, C. And then you start doing it and you go, we've just opened Pandora's box. This is not easy at all. So it was a real struggle. And I have a really amazing team. Billy, who's our e-com campaign manager, she led this project really, really well and collaborated with our R&D team. But you're right, we went through so many different approaches to make sure that it was spitting out the right information for the customer and that it was helpful for them as well. And so we chose to go with the benefit-led approach first, and then how we narrowed that down. And the setup was extraordinary. But the conversion on that quiz is astronomical. It is so fantastic. And that, I think, leads back to when you're doing something and you do it right, it's going to help the customer.
Yeah. And from a conversion perspective, I'm not going to ask you to give us the exact numbers, but
Yeah, I would never tell.
we will find out. From a conversion perspective, are you finding that conversion happens immediately post the quiz, or is it kind of starting as a lead generation that you then have to take them on a further journey before getting that conversion?
Exactly right. I don't think we are as linear as what it used to be 10 years ago, where someone would see something, click, buy, done. Now, it has given me these products. I'm going to go away and think about it. I've got this ad. I've come back. I'm curious again. Yeah. So it's definitely a journey. And we added in flow in Klaviyo. That was once they had done that quiz, a certain time later, we would send them all their quiz results. That's a game changer. That was really good because it's then sitting in their email. So when they think about it, they go back, what was the results that I was given? They go back to that email, they can refresh, and that's
so
done
it
really
becomes
well.
a personalized health resource for them rather than just a marketing campaign.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what was the tool that you used for your quiz?
Yeah, we used Octane. I know there's other ones as well, like Prezi, and Prezi are now doing some really exciting things with their AI tool. We're going to try that on the PDP hopefully soon and see how that goes. But of course, like anything AI, man, you've got to really check it right, especially for us because we are ingestibles. So we can't just go, turn AI on and see what it recommends to people. We've got to be really, really careful. And that's one of our goals that we have for this next financial year is how we can introduce an element of AI that can help us meet the customers more where they are. I've got more about that, but I reckon we might talk about it later.
Well, I think it's really interesting to bring up because even as you're talking about that process of creating a quiz, right? We're doing that manually now and you're not alone. There's a lot of people who have quizzes on their website, but it is a pretty manual process.
Yes.
In 2 years' time, we won't be able to dictate that journey. It'll will be the machine serving up the content.
Yeah.
And obviously with the guardrails in place. But I think it's going to look very different around that world of quizzes.
Which also means your product data has got to be so correct. Your schemas, everything has just got to be immaculate.
So yeah, we couldn't help but fall into the trap of talking about AI and comparing product quizzes to AI. But I think it became pretty clear that it's not a one or the other, that they can both live in the same world and they can do different jobs. But what I loved about Jen's there is that she covered so many points around what you need to consider with product quizzes. So yes, they're a brilliant acquisition tool. So if you think about having a landing page that customers can go to after clicking through on a social ad, or maybe it's that they've signed up for email for the first time, getting them to go to a quiz is actually a really great way to get them engaged and to learn more about the product and for you to get a little bit of data around that. YCU from Nespresso actually talked about this on a previous episode where she talked about all the different flavors of coffee pods that they have. And one of the strongest conversion tools that they have is their coffee finder. And it allows people to go through and adjust their personal taste to find the pods that are right for them, which in the coffee world is a big deal, right? Because if you have a bad cup of coffee, especially that first one, you might never come back. So that's a really strong acquisition tool from them. And you heard there from Jen how well they convert. But I think even if it doesn't get you sales straight away, the amount of data that brings through is phenomenal. The trick is if you set up a quiz and you just do it through a tool and you actually don't link it to your CRM or your marketing platform, you're losing half the battle. That is where the gold is. How often will we get a new customer that tells us everything that they're interested in, especially when it comes to lifestyle or usage factors? You need to be able to bring that into your CRM straight away and get the relationship off to a really strong start with some personalized communication. The other thing that Jen talked to there that I think is hugely important is product quizzes not just as acquisition, but as service features. So Jen talked about, this is actually a really great thing that if you do this product selector, that you can then have that stored in your email. So even if you don't convert straight away, it's always there available for you. Jane Kay from Bird's Nest talked about this in a previous episode, and she said that they use their style finder to help their customers find the perfect style for them. And this isn't just for new customers, this is for all their customers, because a big part of what they do is about helping people find their style. So they see their product quiz not just as an acquisition tool, but as a service tool. So think about it through both lenses, not just one. I think there's no doubt that AI is going to become more prevalent in helping customers find what they want on websites. I think the old search and merch is actually in a little bit of trouble here, but it doesn't necessarily mean the end for the old product quiz. There is plenty of life still left in the product quiz. Think about how you're going to use it to add value to your customers, how you're going to use it to actually kick off that relationship on the right note with personalized communication, and how you might actually extend it to not just be a marketing or acquisition tool, but actually be of service to your customers as well.